Hi there, Internet adventurers. Today, we're charting a course, into the world of high-speed internet at sea,
At sea.
specifically Starlink Maritime's high-performance kit for yachts.
Oh,
Get
wow.
ready to dive deep because this tech is making some serious waves.
It's fascinating how much we rely on internet access, even when we're, miles from shore.
Right.
It's no longer just about posting that perfect sunset selfie from the deck.
Yeah.
We're talking about running businesses, navigating safely, and staying connected with the world.
Yeah, we've got a treasure trove of information here from Concord Marine Electronics, a company in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that's been outfitting yachts with cutting-edge electronics since way back in 1988.
Wow.
They're experts in this field, and they're actually installing these Starlink systems on yachts throughout South Florida.
That's a great point. Concord Marine's long history in marine electronics really highlights how the demand for connectivity at sea has evolved.
Right.
They've seen it all from basic radios to today's sophisticated satellite systems.
Speaking of sophisticated, let's talk about the Starlink high-performance kit itself.
Okay.
It's not your average home internet setup, right? What sets it apart from the Starlink you might see in a suburban neighborhood?
Absolutely. The high-performance kit is engineered to thrive in the challenging marine environment.
Okay.
Think about it: salt spray, constant vibrations, scorching temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
This kit has a robust design to withstand those conditions and deliver a reliable connection even in rough seas.
So it's built tough.
Yeah. But what about speed? We're talking yachts here, not exactly known for their patience.
Speed is where it really shines. The high-performance kit boasts faster download and upload speeds than standard Starlink, plus a wider field of view for the dish.
Huh.
That means it can maintain a connection with those satellites even when the yacht is pitching and rolling.
Now, you mentioned wider field of view.
Right.
For those of us who aren't nautical engineers, could you break that down a bit? What does that mean in practical terms?
Good point. Imagine you're on a yacht and the sea is getting a bit choppy.
Yeah. A standard Starlink dish might struggle to stay locked onto the satellite because its view is more limited.
Okay.
But the high-performance kit's wider field of view means it can see more of the sky and maintain a stable connection even as the boat moves.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's tougher, faster, and more resilient to the motion of the ocean.
Yes.
That's quite an upgrade. But let's get to the heart of the matter.
Okay.
What can yacht owners actually do with this level of connectivity? Is it just about streaming movies on deck in HD?
It's much more than just entertainment, although that's certainly a perk. Think about it. You can work remotely from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Imagine a CEO running their company from the middle of the Pacific Ocean, or a family homeschooling their kids while sailing the Mediterranean.
That's a whole new level of freedom and flexibility, but I imagine there are practical benefits too,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to safety.
Absolutely, safety is paramount at sea, and reliable internet access enhances that in several ways. With Starlink, you can access real-time weather data, get up-to-date navigation charts, and even have crystal-clear communication with shore in case of an emergency.
So it's peace of mind as well as practicality.
For sure.
Now, we've talked about Concord Marine Electronics as a leading installer of these systems.
Right.
What makes them stand out in a field that's probably getting pretty crowded with Starlink installers?
Their experience is key. Remember, they've been dealing with marine electronics for decades, long before Starlink came along. They understand the unique challenges of installing and maintaining these systems in a harsh, saltwater environment.
That makes sense. A regular home installer probably wouldn't be equipped to handle the complexities of a yacht installation.
Exactly. Concord Marine takes a customized approach.
Okay.
They start with a pre-installation assessment of the vessel. They evaluate the structure, figure out the best location for the dish, and look for anything that might obstruct the signal, like masts or other equipment.
Okay, so they're not just slapping a dish on the deck and calling it a day.
No.
It's a thoughtful process.
Right, and then there's the actual installation, making sure everything is mounted securely and properly integrated with the yacht's onboard network. Concord Marine also provides post-installation support, which I imagine is crucial.
Speaking of support, what happens if something goes wrong in the middle of the ocean? Does Concord Marine offer some sort of emergency hotline for panicked yacht owners?
That's where their 2047 availability comes in. They're there for troubleshooting and maintenance, plus they offer extended warranty benefits, so you're not left stranded if a problem arises no matter where you are.
That's reassuring. It sounds like they're really taking a holistic approach to the installation and support process.
They are, and it's not just about technical expertise. They also have a deep understanding of the yachting lifestyle and the specific needs of yacht owners. That's what sets them apart.
It seems like Concord Marine is a good example of how this technology is bringing land-based conveniences to the maritime world. But I'm curious, what about areas outside of South Florida? Their website mentions they service from Jupiter to Key West, but what if I'm sailing in, say, the Bahamas?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, the information we have only focuses on their South Florida service area. A yacht owner sailing outside that region would definitely need to contact Concord Marine directly to see if they offer service in other areas or have partners in those locations.
I imagine as the demand for maritime internet grows, we'll see more companies like Concord Marine popping up all over the world.
That's a safe bet. The world is becoming increasingly connected, and that includes life at sea. It's not just a luxury anymore. It's becoming essential for safety, communication, and even the way we work and live.
Well said. And that brings up a really interesting point. How is this technology changing the very nature of yachting? Is it blurring the lines between escaping from the world and bringing the world with you?
That's a fascinating question, and that's exactly what we'll delve into in our next segment. We'll explore the broader implications of high-speed internet at sea, from the changing dynamics of yachting culture to the potential impact on the maritime industry as a whole.
I'm looking forward to that. But for now, let's pause for a moment and let our listeners absorb all this information about Starlink and Concord Marine Electronics. We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical specs to the installation process and the benefits for yacht owners.
Yes, it's important to let these ideas sink in before we set sail for our next discussion.
Exactly. We'll be back shortly to explore the wider world of high-speed internet at sea. Welcome back, fellow explorers. We've been navigating the world of Starlink Maritime and its impact on the yachting experience using Concord Marine Electronics as our guide. Now let's shift our perspective and consider the bigger picture.
I'm ready to set sail for those uncharted waters.
Perfect. So high-speed internet at sea, it's transforming yachting. But how? Is it just about convenience, or is something more profound happening?
I think it's about redefining what's possible at sea. We're seeing a shift from yachting as a pure escape to yachting as a platform for connection, productivity, and even exploration.
You know, you've touched on something I've been pondering, this idea of bringing the world with you. Is it always a good thing? Some might argue that part of the allure of yachting is disconnecting, finding solitude. Could constant connectivity erode that sense of escape?
That's an insightful observation, and I think it depends on the individual. For some, the ability to stay connected might enhance their yachting experience, allowing them to share their adventures in real time or manage responsibilities remotely. For others, the constant influx of information might feel intrusive, detracting from the peace and tranquility they seek at sea.
So it's a double-edged sword. But what about the broader yachting community? How is this technology changing the social dynamics on board and at marinas?
I think it's fostering a sense of community even across vast distances. Yacht owners can now easily connect with other boaters, share tips and advice, and even coordinate meetups at sea. It's like having a global yachting club at your fingertips.
And don't forget about those incredible Instagram-worthy photos and videos. People can now share their experiences, instantly inspiring others to explore the world by sea.
Exactly. It's democratizing the yachting experience, making it more accessible and appealing to a wider audience. But beyond the social aspects, there are practical implications for the maritime industry as a whole.
Okay, let's dive into those. What kind of impact are we seeing beyond the world of luxury yachts?
Well, consider cargo ships. With reliable internet, they can optimize routes in real time based on weather patterns and port congestion, improving efficiency and reducing fuel consumption. We're also seeing advancements in remote monitoring and diagnostics, which can help prevent breakdowns and improve safety.
It's incredible how technology can streamline those operations. But what about less commercial, more scientific applications?
That's where it gets really exciting. Imagine research vessels collecting and transmitting vast amounts of oceanographic data in real time, allowing scientists to monitor climate change, track marine life, and study underwater ecosystems like never before.
Wow, that's truly transformative. But all this connectivity, all this data, it raises some concerns too, right? Cybersecurity, data privacy, ethical considerations. Those must be part of this conversation as well.
You're absolutely right. As we become more reliant on connected systems at sea, we need to be vigilant about cybersecurity threats. Yacht owners, shipping companies, everyone needs to prioritize robust security measures to protect their vessels and their data.
And what about the ethical implications of ubiquitous internet access? Is there a risk of disrupting fragile ecosystems or infringing on the privacy of coastal communities?
That's a crucial question. As technology advances, we need to consider its potential impact on the environment and on people. Responsible development and deployment are essential to ensure that these innovations benefit everyone without causing harm.
It's a delicate balance, but one worth striving for. Okay, I want to shift gears for a moment and go back to something you mentioned earlier. You talked about Concord Marine's expertise in integrating these systems with a yacht's onboard network. Can you unpack that a bit? What does that actually entail?
Sure, it's not just about plugging in a router. Think of a yacht's network as a central nervous system. It connects everything from navigation and communication systems to entertainment and security. Concord Marine's job is to seamlessly integrate the Starlink system into this network, ensuring that it works harmoniously with all the other onboard electronics.
That sounds complex. What are some of the challenges they might encounter during that process?
Well, every yacht is different. The size, age, and layout of the vessel, the existing electronics, the owner's specific requirements, all these factors influence the installation and integration process.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. They might need to run cables, install additional equipment, or even customize software settings to ensure everything is working optimally.
And this is where their years of experience in the marine electronics field really come into play, I imagine.
Absolutely. They have a deep understanding of how these systems work and how to troubleshoot any issues that may arise. But let's not forget about the technology itself. We've talked about Starlink, but what about other options? Are there any competitors in this space, or is Starlink dominating the market?
That's a great question. While Starlink has certainly made a splash in the maritime world, they're not the only player. Other satellite internet providers are emerging, offering alternative solutions and potentially driving down cost as competition heats up.
That's good news for yacht owners. Competition often leads to innovation and more affordable options.
Speaking of innovation, Concord Marine also specializes in something called the MDS blender. I have to admit the name is intriguing. What exactly is it, and how does it relate to Starlink?
Ah, yes, the MDS blender. This is where things get really interesting. Essentially, it's a device that combines multiple internet sources, Starlink cellular data short-based Wi-Fi, and blends them into a single robust connection.
So it's like having a backup internet on top of your backup internet.
Exactly. It's all about redundancy and maximizing bandwidth. Imagine you're on your yacht miles from shore and your Starlink connection experiences a temporary outage. With the MDS blender, you wouldn't even notice a blip. It seamlessly switches to another available source, ensuring you stay connected without entertainment.
That's a game changer for people who rely on internet access for work communication or even entertainment. But how does this blending actually work? Does it just pick the strongest signal at any given moment?
It's more sophisticated than that. The MDS blender utilizes intelligent algorithms to dynamically prioritize traffic, ensuring the most demanding tasks like video conferencing always have the optimal bandwidth.
So it's like having an air traffic controller for your internet data, constantly monitoring and adjusting to ensure a smooth and efficient flow.
Precisely. And it does all of this in the background, so you don't have to lift a finger. It's all about creating a seamless and uninterrupted online experience no matter where you are in the world.
Okay, I'm sold. I need one of these for my apartment. But focusing back on the yachting scenario, this combination of Starlink and the MDS blender seems incredibly powerful. Can you give us some real-world examples of how yacht owners are actually using this technology?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. We're talking about a whole new level of freedom and flexibility for yacht owners.
Give us some specifics. Paint a picture for us.
Picture this. A family of 4 is sailing around the world. The parents are both running their own businesses remotely thanks to Starlink's high-speed connection and the MDS blender's unwavering reliability. Their kids are continuing their education online, attending virtual classes, and staying connected with their teachers and classmates back home. In the evenings, they all gather on deck to watch a movie under the stars, streaming seamlessly in HD. That's the power of this technology.
That's an inspiring image. It really does seem like high-speed internet is redefining the yachting experience.
It is, and it's not just limited to personal use. Think about the potential for yacht charters. Imagine being able to offer guests a truly connected experience with all the comforts and conveniences of home, no matter where they are in the world.
That could be a huge selling point for charter companies. But let's not forget about the environmental impact of all this connectivity. We're talking about more satellites, more energy consumption, more electronic waste. How can we reconcile the benefits of this technology with the need to protect our planet?
You raise an important point. As we embrace these technological advancements, we need to do so responsibly, minimizing our environmental footprint and seeking sustainable solutions.
What are some concrete steps that can be taken in that direction, both on the industry side and by individual yacht owners?
Well, companies like SpaceX, which operates Starlink, are investing in more sustainable practices. They're using more efficient rocket fuels, designing satellites for easier deorbiting and responsible disposal, and exploring ways to reduce the environmental impact of their operations.
That's encouraging. What about energy consumption on board the yachts themselves?
Yacht owners can definitely play a role by investing in renewable energy sources like solar panels and wind turbines. This can help offset the energy consumption of their onboard systems, including internet connectivity.
And of course, responsible recycling of old electronics is essential. No one wants to see discarded routers and modems ending up in the ocean.
Absolutely. We need to close the loop on electronic waste, ensuring that these devices are properly recycled or refurbished.
It's clear that high-speed internet at sea is a powerful tool with far-reaching implications. But like any tool, it could be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to ensure that its benefits are maximized while its potential downsides are mitigated.
I agree. It's about finding a sustainable and ethical path forward, one that embraces the power of technology while respecting our planet and future generations.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the technical aspects of Starlink and the MBS blender to the broader social, economic, and environmental implications of this technology. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed yet incredibly inspired.
It's a lot to process, but that's what makes this topic so fascinating. It's constantly evolving, challenging our assumptions, and forcing us to think critically about the role of technology in our lives.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to ponder? Something that will stick with them long after they've finished listening?
I think the most important takeaway is this high-speed internet at sea is more than just a technological marvel. It's a transformative force that's reshaping the way we live, work, and interact with our world. It's up to us to harness its power wisely and ensure that it benefits all of humanity and our planet for generations to come.
That's a powerful thought, and I think it's the perfect segue into our final segment, where we'll explore some of the potential futures of this technology and its role in shaping the maritime world of tomorrow. But for now, let's pause for a moment and let these ideas resonate.
Yes, a little time for reflection before we embark on the final leg of our journey.
Welcome back to the final leg of our deep dive into high-speed internet at sea.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We've explored the technology, the impact, the challenges, and the possibilities. But as with any voyage, it's important to consider the destination.
And in this case, the destination is the future of connectivity at sea.
Precisely. So let's shift our focus to the horizon. What trends and developments are shaping the future of this technology, and what might the maritime world look like in, say, 5 or 10 years?
Well, one trend we're seeing is the increasing miniaturization and affordability of satellite technology. This means that high-speed internet access is becoming more accessible to smaller vessels, not just luxury yachts.
Right.
We could see fishing boats, pleasure crafts, even kayaks equipped with satellite internet in the not-too-distant future.
Wow, so the democratization of connectivity at sea continues.
Exactly. And as more devices come online, we'll see a surge in data collection and analysis. This will open up incredible opportunities for maritime research, weather forecasting, and even search and rescue operations.
It's fascinating to think about how real-time data from thousands of vessels could be used to improve safety and efficiency across the entire maritime industry.
Absolutely. And as artificial intelligence and machine learning continue to advance, we could see autonomous vessels become more prevalent.
Oh.
Imagine cargo ships navigating autonomously across the ocean, guided by AI and real-time data from satellites and other vessels.
That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
It might seem that way now, but it's closer than you might think, and the implications are huge. Autonomous shipping could revolutionize global trade, reduce costs, and even minimize the risk of human error.
It's incredible to think about how technology is blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds, even at sea.
It is, and as we become more reliant on these interconnected systems, the importance of cybersecurity will only grow. We'll need robust security protocols and international collaboration to protect against cyber attacks and ensure the stability of the maritime industry.
That's a crucial point, but beyond the practical applications, I'm curious about the social and cultural implications of all this connectivity. How might it change the way we experience and interact with the ocean?
Well, I think it has the potential to foster a deeper connection between human and the sea. Imagine virtual reality experiences that allow you to explore the depths of the ocean from your yacht, or augmented reality apps that overlay information about marine life and underwater ecosystems onto your real-world view.
Those are incredible ideas. It's almost as if we're bringing the ocean to people rather than just bringing people to the ocean.
Exactly. And this could have a profound impact on education, conservation, and even tourism. Imagine a world where anyone, anywhere, can experience the wonder and beauty of the ocean without ever leaving their home.
It's a future filled with both promise and potential pitfalls. It's up to us to steer this ship wisely and ensure that technology enhances our relationship with the sea, not diminishes it.
Well said. Ultimately, the future of high-speed internet at sea is a story that's still being written. It's a story that we're all a part of, whether we're yacht owners, technologists, policymakers, or simply citizens of this planet.
And as we've seen throughout this deep dive, it's a story with many chapters, many perspectives, and many unanswered questions. But one thing is clear.
The ocean is no longer a barrier to connectivity.
It's becoming an integral part of the global network, connecting us in ways we never imagined possible. And as we continue to explore, innovate, and adapt, the future of high-speed internet at sea promises to be as vast and uncharted as the ocean itself.
So for you listening out there, the journey doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.
Because the future of connectivity at sea is in our hands.
And who knows what incredible discoveries await us on the horizon.
Until next time, fair winds and following sea.